This is not the type of news you want to be reading on Sunday morning after an awesome UFC 288 event last night. Tony Ferguson has been arrested. This is according to TMZ, MMA Junkie with the story here, for a DUI. Really disturbing stuff here. If you actually read the comment that Junkie got from a police spokeswoman on Sunday, said that Ferguson's arrest came after his truck allegedly was driving into two parked vehicles, then overturned. There were two occupants inside the truck when it was overturned. He could have killed someone here. This is really, really bad news here for Tony Ferguson. Obviously dealing with some things. If you're having a DUI, I mean, that's a pretty serious thing to happen here. Again, allegedly, Ferguson's management team declined to comment Sunday when reached out by MMA Junkie. So right now, he has been booked in the Hollywood Community Police Station on a $30,000 bond. And so he basically crashed his truck. Looks like absolutely totaled there. He's okay, but he could have killed someone. He himself could have killed himself. Just really, really bad news here for Tony Ferguson, who, this isn't the first time he's had some trouble with the law. If you go back to 2019, there was the issue where his wife had put a restraining order on him due to delusional behavior. Obviously, there's some mental health issues with Tony Ferguson that it's been well documented what's happened. I'm not going to go through the entire claims that he had here, but just acting very, very odd. I think, I'm obviously not a doctor. That's why I'm doing these videos, but you do have to put two and two together. And, the injuries, some of the trauma that Tony's had from his fighting career. Is this related to some of the things that have happened? Are you drinking because of pain and because of other things? You have to wonder that stuff and some of the decisions that he's made. And not the main thing is he's a father and he's going out there getting a DUI. That's just, your priorities are not very straight, I should say, if things like this are happening. And just, absolutely tragic news here. And, the optics, of course, in his fight career, Tony Ferguson has lost 5 straight fights. Didn't look great at all in that fight against Nate Diaz in his last fight. It's and granted, I know that fight was switched up at the last minute, but still, it's not looking good for Tony Ferguson, who's one of the most beloved fighters in the UFC, one of the most unique fighters. But this is a story we've seen far too often with certain fighters struggling outside the cage. Stephan Bonner's one that comes to mind recently, very tragic with his passing on what's happened. He was obviously dealing with some things outside of the cage. This is something I hope we don't hear more of, but unfortunately I think we will, where fighters just don't have the tools set up outside of the cage to deal with their issues or deal with trauma or deal with health issues. I mean, I'm sure some of this is health related as well. But you just hope he gets better and he gets help, and you hope this is a bit of a wake-up call for him going to jail like this and getting the DUI, or I should say arrested, here as well. So you just hope he gets help here, but just really tragic stuff here for Tony Ferguson. I really hope he can get things back on track. As far as his fighting career goes, I'm one of those people where I would rather a fighter get out when it's too late. And I think if Ferguson wanted to call it a career, I'm fine with that right now. Again, a history of injuries, history of taking damage throughout his fights. It's not a good recipe for someone who's getting a little bit older in their career, and you just hope that he gets the help he needs. That's sort of the main thing here. So I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. What do you think is next for Tony? Do you think he fights again after something like this? I mean, this is, we don't know how serious the injuries are. Obviously, the legal side of this as well is going to play out how it's supposed to, but maybe maybe we'll never see Tony fight again. We'll have to see what happens. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram @Lynch on Sports. Thank you so much for watching. I'm James Lynch, and I'll see you next time.